Alright, we're back with another adventure of Mythos Tales, episode Investigation 5, The Serpent's Vengeance. Arkham, October 21st, 1929. The citizens of Arkham took to Nordwill's traveling menagerie creatures fair and foul like flies to a corpse. Nordwill's zoo landed in Arkham a month ago, operating on the north end of Independence Square, and soon became a focus of conversation for old and young alike. You have been meaning to give the traveling zoo a visit when you hear a curious statement by a stranger. You're enjoying this morning's tea at your local bakery while perusing the Arkham Advertiser when a gruff man loudly announces his disappointment upon learning that Nordwill's gates were shuttered due to an unforeseen incident.
Took my kids all the way out there, and what is this? I said to the guards at the gate. We had spent half the day walking to get here, and I insisted they pay me money for a return cab ride home. They said they had to close due to a problem with their snakes.
A tingle wiggles down your spine. You could say slithers down your spine even. Snakes are not something you find pleasant. Within minutes, a newspaper boy stops his bike in front of the baker's shop, dismounts, and walks to your table.
Professor Armitage sent me,
the boy says.
It is urgent, I think. Oh, and he didn't pay me enough. You got a dime?
We don't pay him. You are not a believer in coincidence, but certainly this can't have anything to do with the unexpected closing of Nordwill's. You give the kid a dime and shudder at the thought of snakes running loose in a zoo. We did. He forced it from us. A summons from Armitage is not lightly ignored, so you hail a taxi and make your way over to Miskatonic University. Armitage is pacing about, his cane tapping the floor at each turn. If it is not about snakes, then something beyond the ordinary is bothering him. He is deep in thought, so he does not glance your way before speaking. I called you here because there was an incident at Nordwill's menagerie last night. At 6 a.m., in anticipation of the day's visitors, a groundskeeper unlocked the breezeways of the reptile house to allow fresh air to circulate when he screamed in horror. Inside were housed over 100 snakes of various species. The snakes were out of the cages and lying lifeless in a heap. Strange thing, wouldn't you say? A policeman was called, but I doubt he took much interest in dead snakes. However, I think something sinister is in the works. I will hold off making too many guesses yet as to what, but we must get to the bottom of this, even if it is just a cold-hearted prank. Oh, Armitage, you son of a bitch. You sigh. You are not sure that following up on dead snakes is a good use of your time, but you are willing to humor Armitage. He obviously sees something you do not. Armitage takes a seat at his desk and arranges violets in a vase. Not one other creature in the reptile house died. Inside the same building are lizards and other creatures, all unharmed. It all seems so unusual, so I will only mention a few minor facts so as not to lead you astray. Armitage pauses, now as if considering his next words carefully. You'll probably need to visit someone whose studies are less comprehensive than my own, but a little more broad. There is the library, of course, but I'm not sure who else. You know who else but Armitage will not mention his name. You smile and say, should I talk to Pasquale Fenton then? He growls at you and barks. Fenton! I don't see why you should. Anyway, time is wasting. I see some urgency here that perhaps you do not. You may gain something if you talk to Garrison. It may be futile, but you never know. Also, the snake carcasses were sent to the zoologist, I believe. Find out where we can find this man. I believe he now runs a pet store. And finally, I believe the zoo purveyor of one Miss Norwill is staying at the Harding boarding house. I asked her to send over dust particles discovered on the snakes to the science annex. Could be that a poison was used, so be careful if you meet anyone suspicious.
Sir, which boarding house?
The Harding boarding house. Look out for anyone who's acting peculiar. Also, I found it interesting that there are no reports from the hospital of snake bites. One would think that attacking that many snakes would be very dangerous. Okay, so what's the summary from the newspaper?
The snakes died.
Snakes died, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's anything I thought was super relevant. I mean, having not heard the initial thing.
Yeah.
Again, there's a bunch of stuff that could relate to future investigations or to like side quests for this one.
But not too much. There was the thought of the day is a serpent, unless it devours a serpent, will not become a dragon.
It's fitting.
Well, no, maybe this guy has to kill the serpent, it's become like a super serpent.
He wants to become a child of the gig,
Yeah.
essentially, right? Yeah. He's like the fucking dragon from Red Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, do you see? And then he lights Philip Seymour Hoffman on fire and pushes him down a hill in a wheelchair. Just imagine Fucking Armitage watching us as we're having this conversation.
Why do I pay you?
Yeah, it's just...
Oh, a merman, a creature with human-like stature but fish-like features. That's an Innsmouth, though. It's
Yeah, I know.
not
And
important.
we don't have to worry about that yet. But for
I discount. There's a lot of references to Innsmouth in that one that I just kind of discounted.
And I gave us the right day, right? Monday. Oh no, the Serpent thing was in there, so
Yeah.
yeah,
October 21st, 1929 is the one I've got.
yeah. So we have a few leads that we can follow, which is Garrison, the zoologist, who now owns a pet shop, and there's also Fenton, Pascal,
And Fenton.
yeah, who I feel like is going to give us some important lore in terms of
Yeah,
backstory.
I'll
Right,
be
to at
like,
least give
oh,
us a
there's
little-
this old god called Yig.
Yeah, he'll probably give
who's-
us a bit of like a little way to I right? So I always feel like visiting him is helpful.
Yeah. Not so much with backstory, but for more as a direction for us to go.
Exactly. There she is, Maxwell Coffee House lady.
Yeah.
Coffee grandma.
Yeah.
I haven't seen come across anything here relating to snakes or anything like that in the older ones, so.
Okay.
Last one was mostly about the lantern stuff.
Oh man, okay, what if instead of working for Armitage, we go to Bee's Diner and
Oh, she's looking for some
work
people?
there? They're hiring.
I feel like that would be a lot more in our wheelhouse.
Like,
You're hiring, right? Yeah. What do you want us to do? Like wash dishes? Yeah. No, don't have to fight any vampires or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't need to go knocking on doors and
No,
alright.
just sit here and watch it. Deal.
yeah,
Done.
please help us out of here.
Or Chad's Groceries.
Oh man, is there 3 jobs there? Models needed.
Models needed for painting and sculpture required. It's Richard Upton Pickman.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Donors or volunteers wanted for auction event at the Eleanor Peabody Charity Home. Contact Alice Maple.
All right, where do you guys want to go first? Want to go to Pascal first, just to
Yeah, get that
get
out
the
of the
ball
way.
rolling? Sure. Pascal's house is over here. I have it. It is, what the fuck is his house? L4. We're going to go to Pascal to start us off. You guys studying for finals or something? No, Xanister. We are playing a deductive investigation game where we're trying to solve the problems.
Shit, I've worked harder at this game than I did for any final.
It's true. Arkham Horror. A cab driver drops you off at Pascal's home. You tell the cabbie to come back in a couple hours to pick you up. Send Arlo if he's available. You say. Pascal is at his door ready to greet you. Inside, you're immediately repulsed. Desiccated cadavers hang from spikes on the walls. The stuffed bodies of various exotic animals stand in each corner, and the whole room smells of formaldehyde, rot, and a strange floral potpourri as if trying to mask the odor. A large oak desk dominates the center of the room, and Pascal directs you to it, taking his place in a large plush armchair behind it. He's vertically grinning with delight. You get straight to the matter of your visit and tell him about the dead snakes. Did Armitage mention anything to you about Yig? If not, then he's getting too slow in his wits. Grinning, Pascal puts an object on his desk. It looks like a club, the sort of which a British bobby might carry, only it is carved with intricate motifs and painted with odd markings. Fastened to it are a number of dyed and painted snake skins, and hanging from the skins are an array of feathers of bright colors. This is a Central American spirit fetish directly associated with ancient gods of both the Aztec and Mayan cultures. It has passed through several hands prior to its coming to me. Those hands thought it was a fetish of Quetzalcoatl or some similar Central American deity. Pascal indicates a series of black hieroglyphs near the bottom of the club. These markings are pertinent to an ancient power which held sway over the ancient Mesoamerican civilizations predating the Mayans by at least a millennium. It is possible that the echoes of this power were heard by the Aboriginals in Australia. Pascal waves the fetish at you, his eyes wide with delight. Yig! He exclaims. The ancient snake god! He deftly puts the fetish away, slamming his desk drawer shut with a flourish. Then he leans in conspiratorially, close enough to catch a whiff of his fetid breath. You know, there are some theories that the Christian association of Satan with the serpent stems from the influence Yig had over ancient cultures. He laughs and his laughter makes your skin crawl. I've heard what happened to the snakes at Nordwell Menagerie, he says. Someone killed all those snakes deliberately, and just as Yig is stirring in his slumber. However, the culprit may very well have misinterpreted the text. Is Yig interested in man's petty dealings? Do you understand? Is Yig's interested in man's petty dealings? Do you understand? And maybe the attention has been drawn of a lesser beings and of humans who worship Yig. I suppose to a degree the old god's attention may be turned to us, and for that reason alone the minds of those bearers are altered. Yig is powerful. You know, these bearers may even become snakes over time, but is not a purposeful act of Yig. If we do ever get Yig's full attention, we will know it. Pascal laughs again. You mentioned a text, you ask him. What text? The Necronomicon, of course. Someone is reading it or parts of it. That is the real danger here. Where did they get these pages? If you have requirement card 2, proceeds as if we don't have that. Do you want to note that requirement card 2 on Pascal Fenton's?
Can I turn my microphone off?
Sure.
I mean, he makes a good point. If it was actually like interested, we'd be fucked.
Yeah. And it's just some guy. So we know 2 places where the Necronomicons are.
Yeah, there's some. I read something here about Necronomicon.
But there's also
screwed
from
over.
a previous investigation we did for Armitage. There's one in the library and in the Silver Twilight Lodge.
Yeah, but what I really got from that is that we need to go to Australia.
Yeah, let's do it! On Armitage's dime.
Yeah.
We're going to fucking Australia.
So where'd you guys visit? Well,
Location 1, Pascal Fenton's house. Location 2, fucking Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Wait, what?
We didn't find anything there.
Didn't find anything.
No, but we had a pretty good time.
Getting there and back.
So do we want to immediately take a search for one of these, for the Necronomicon?
I mean, that's our lead, right?
Yeah. Apart from the other ones with like the garrison and the zoologist, right? Do you need a can opener?
No, I don't. I just got weak papery hands.
Oh, me too, man. Me too.
I need.
Give it. No.
Do it,
What?
Bryn. Yes, Bryn did it!
Oh my god. So there's one at the Oran
Worried
Library.
about cutting myself.
Yes.
Where was the other one?
It's in the Silver Twilight Lodge.
Right.
So I feel like if the one in the Orm Library is there, it's probably the Silver Twilight Lodge, and we can go talk to our mole.
Yeah, it's pretty fair. We'll go visit our mole.
So do we do the library first? I mean, like, what are some other options? We have...
We could talk to Garrison, but
Or the-
at the pet store. We'd go talk to Nordwell.
Did you find a pet store in there?
Oh, I didn't check.
Okay,
I was busy skimming the things.
sure. Just see if there's a pet store in there.
Or we could just go try and get a job at the diner. And
That does
like,
seem like...
clearly Armitage doesn't need us for anything. So
Oh man, you guys are bad at this.
There's an SPCA.
So yeah, C23 is where we'd go to the library, the restricted area.
the restricted section.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like going there. Do you want me to go there while you're looking? Should we just follow this Necronomicon lead?
Sure.
Sure. You okay with that, Bryn?
Yeah, all right.
I mean, there is a pet shop we could go to.
Do you want to do that first or after?
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm okay with trying the book first.
This is a team dealie.
Miss Sargent furrows her eyebrows and purses her lips. Ritual killing of snakes, maybe? That sort of information is scarce, she says. You don't respond. Instead, you run off to the bathroom and vomit. Delay.
Okay.
You may rest by advancing the time tracker one additional space forward, or you may press on, ignoring the sickness, and continue as normal.
press on, I guess.
What number was the library?
C23.
Alternatively, we could rest because this isn't a high value time, but like,
But yeah, they said that we get poisoned anytime, probably when we were on a lead, right? So
that's probably good.
we can go to C23A for free because that's Armitage's office. If we want to check that out, we get to go there for free.
At the Orin Library?
Yep. A note is pinned to the office door. I do have something important to tell you. The culprit is trying to sicken us with his poisons, so we get discouraged. You can get poisoned by a mere touch. I am immune to the poison mostly. Fuck you, Armitage, but I dare say you are not. Keep your rest if you find yourself getting sick.
Why didn't he share it with us? Piece of shit.
You discover a powder on your fingers that was transferred from Armitage's doorknob. Your stomach knots in pain. We may rest or ignore it and ignore the sickness and continue as normal. Should we rest on this one?
I don't know. How...
So this one actually doesn't count as an encounter. It's just a separate thing. So
So I went to Orin Library, right?
yeah. I feel like we're gonna get poisoned a lot.
Yeah.
That's what Yig does. He just fucking poison. Well, not Yig. The crazy
Yeah,
followers
whatever.
of Yig.
Do we just suck it up though?
Like this should be like when we took the dream toxin and we figure out how much is too much.
Yeah.
Right? Like should we say 4 poisonings is when we start resting?
Just pick an arbitrary number?
Yeah. Like 4 or 5? Probably 4. How many times do you think we can get poisoned and not die?
Oh man, like
'Cause-
7.
Armor just didn't fucking give us the antidote for some reason.
I'm invincible, but not you.
We'll probably lose points if we're poisoned
Oh,
too
man.
much.
Yeah, probably.
At the end, it's gonna be like, oh, but remember when you had to rest because you were poisoned? Yeah, I didn't do that. That's why you suck.
Yeah.
Like, god damn it.
Oh fuck, let's also 1 second. So actually, because we got such a bad score in the last one, we do not count the first location as a thing. So
Pity.
just like -1 location right near that somewhere. So should we just press on and ignore the poison?
I mean, like, yeah, if it gets too bad, we can ignore it later, right?
Yeah.
Or, like, suck it up. No, rest later, that one.
So do we want to follow this book lead or try the zoology lead for a bit? Man,
I mean,
poison twice?
We have more options if we go along the zoology lead.
Sure.
But on the other hand, like, the Necronomicon we have access to is at the Twilight Lodge.
So, but
So
I
we
feel
know
like we
where
should at
that
least check out the zoology because I feel like we're going to do that anyway.
Okay, you want to do the pet shop or the Nordwil at the boarding house?
The other alternative is also the Nordwell at the boarding house, which I feel like might be better because they'll just be like, yeah, there was no signs of how the snakes die.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. She won't know anything, probably.
Oh, and I feel like she might know something. She might know about
Oh.
like a caretaker or someone. It's like someone suspicious.
Maybe.
The pet shop, like, but she also could be like, I don't know anything. The pet shop could be, no, we don't know how the snakes died, or they were beat to death. This whacking stick, right? Which has the address of the guy who fucking did it.
Yeah, we found this whacking stick at the scene of the crime with someone's address written on it. Oh, that's pretty convenient.
Huh. Couldn't have been him then.
Can we borrow that? And show up at his house and start whacking him.
So of the two, where would you rather go? To her or
I'd rather go check out the Necronomicon, I think.
you want to do the Silver Twilight?
Yeah.
Talk to our mole?
That's my vote anyway. How about
Yeah.
you, Bryn?
I think Travis has some sort of problem where he's obsessed with the Necronomicon because I don't think we've ever played a game where we could have not taken a detrimental effect to get a look at it.
I would agree with that statement. I still agree that going there probably is good.
It's made of human flesh. That's so cool.
It is. It's pretty fucking metal.
I don't see what's wrong with that.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. At least just following on this lead.
Yeah,
Coming
okay.
to it.
All right.
Go visit, what's his nuts?
What's his nuts? Our mole, who is Sebastian Lyman, L18. Let's see how this goes. Assuming we have an encounter here. Oh, fuck you, game. You find Sebastian Lyman pleasant today. Oh. Write down the name William Carthy. William Carthy, yes, he is a member of the Silver Twilight's elite, much higher ranked than I am, and therefore privy to things I know very little about.
How do you spell his last name?
Carthy.
Okay.
He is cutthroat and bloodthirsty, and I wouldn't cross him. If you have requirement 4, proceed to supplemental page 101. So...
There's 4 requirement cards in this.
Yeah, at least. So we found who William Carthy is. We don't know who that is, so he's probably our lead to who stole the book.
Yeah.
Does he have a name in there?
Oh, probably. And 75.
So where do we think we learned the name William Carthy from? Because we just come in and we're like, hey, Sebastian. And he's like, oh, William Carthy, of course. He's this guy. And we're like, what?
Hang on.
What?
Hold up a minute.
I mean, like, realistically, maybe he was a visitor for at the zoo.
Yeah.
Either that, or maybe he bought...
Snakes.
Maybe he bought a pet mongoose.
Yeah, maybe,
From the
yeah.
pet store.
He bought the snake killer.
Yeah. Well, I didn't beat him to death. I just bought a couple of mongooses, you know. Well,
Are they mongooses or mongeese? Mongai?
Mongi.
It's actually mongeese or mongooses, not mongai. Mongeese and mongooses are both correct.
What about mongi?
No.
Okay, I tried. Okay.
This has been relevant to me in the past.
It's because you have that...
Because I play them Legacy, yeah.
Yeah.
The mongoose. I think we should check out the pet shop.
Pet shop?
Yep, M19.
M19?
It's just gonna be like, oh, William Carthy, yeah, he likes to kill
Sorry,
snakes. He buys
M19?
snakes all the time.
M19.
Dr. Luttrell. Oh. M19?
I believe so. That's what the pet shop is in here. That's where the guy's supposed to be, right? Pet shop M19?
Yep. That's where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If you arrived here before the 4th day, the doors are locked, and
Get
we may
fucked.
not continue reading. So, 4th day. On the plus side, we can revisit here for just one time, and because we aren't poisoned, that's essentially a free turn.
Yeah.
So then I guess our other lead is Nordwood.
Either we can go visit William Carthy at home.
Yeah, we could try at his home. Knock on the door.
I mean, I feel like we should take the other obvious lead.
Yeah.
Because apparently the game likes to fuck you if you don't.
Yeah.
Like in the last movie, like, oh, there's a dream box. You're like,
How do we...
What in the
What?
hell?
Sure, we'll
Yeah,
go to his home. What is it again?
N75. Or no, sorry, the boarding house is where we're going to.
Yeah.
N15.
Harding House is a 4-story white frame building with light gray trim, a matching gray picket fence, and a well-kept yard. A wide stoop leads up to the front entrance where you find yourself in a small foyer. What's up, Time Roller? How's it going? William Harding is not present, but a tiny copper-skinned woman sits in a box office and she greets you. After you tell her your purpose, she rings a bell. Miss Nordwell comes down and takes you to a sitting room on the first floor. She looks haggard and distressed. You get the impression she's always in a vexed state. I have enemies, sure. At least 2 are angry and resourceful enough to do something like this to me and my babies. She smiles at your reaction to return a phrase. What? You think I don't care about my animals? They are nothing more than the source of income for me? Well, that is true, yes, and the money invested over the years on those snakes constitutes a devastating blow. But all my animals, from Icarus the kestrel to Simeon the viper, they are also my children. All 112 of those lovely serpents were a part of me. As for Miss Nordwell's enemies...
Sorry, it was Icarus the Kestrel. What's the other one called?
Simeon. Or, yeah, Simeon.
Mm-hmm. What kind of snake is he?
The viper.
Because that seems like kind of garbage. This thing will ask us at the end.
That's fair. As for Miss Nordwell's enemies, the mayor of a city in Ohio fined her again over capricious permit requirements. His name was Stan Cranston. Perhaps the police or the library can find his information and verify what I tell you. The other more likely enemy was a former partner of hers named Guillermo Vasquez. Guillermo Vasquez.
Yeah, okay, you're going to have to show me that one.
Sure.
No, Vasquez.
Like Guillermo del Toro, but with Vasquez instead of his actual last name. Travis is too young to be so cynical.
Guillermo.
No, not Travis. Travi.
Yeah. With whom she parted ways a few years back, but who sometimes shows up to pester me for cash or favors. Town Hall might possibly know where Vasquez resides. Miss Nordwell is aware of the ancient deity Yig. You suggest that the act may have been ritualistic in nature. Miss Nordwell scoffs. I've been confronted regarding my supposed imprisonment of living creatures. I love the children of the earth the same as this Yig does. I believe all things are sacred and even the evil creatures of this world and beyond. You thank Miss Nordwell for her time and offer your condolences. Then you move on, but you feel very sick. We have another poison delay. Do we just suck it up? Do we just tank all this poison and just focus on answering those questions?
Oh, is this one's?
N15.
Okay, so at the end it's going to be like if you're poisoned more than X times.
Yeah,
you
points.
lose one. Okay, so how many encounters are there?
There's
We can have a maximum of like 22?
3. What is
Or,
it?
sorry, not
6,
22.
9, 12, 14?
14, yeah. So how many do we think is going to be the cutoff for that?
It's probably a low number, like 4.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to get poisoned 6 times.
I'm pretty comfortable with 6. How about you, Bryn?
Oh, sure. I could
Let us
do
know
as-
when we get to 6, I guess.
I'd do as many as like 12.
We have 14 options. It's like,
Yeah.
if it's 6, it's like minus 6 points.
Yeah, I mean like 12 is enough. 14 is absurd. We can't just do that.
No, it's too many. So, is it, before we just, like, I vote we press on. I'm okay with this poison. I feel good. It's just a stomach ache.
Yeah, it's fine.
I ate some bad Innsmouth fish.
It's
Is
not
it
people.
wrong of me to assume that this game, because it takes place in the Lovecraft time, that it is very racist? That this Vasquez guy, because he is probably from Mexico or Mesoamerica, that he might be the Yig guy?
That's pretty reasonable. I wouldn't call that racist at all. They've been dropping all kinds of leads about like Mesoamerica being where Yig's from.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, that also is where Yig's from.
he could also be Spanish
He also could be Spanish. Yeah, Guillermo is...
because they went to.
But he also could be
Central America.
Australian, right?
I spent his name right, like Vasquez.
Yeah, Vasquez, yeah.
He's not in here.
And there, yeah. It might be a Z instead of the S at the end, but I imagine you would have noticed that and been like...
Yeah. I mean, like, if the
Justin.
game, like, I'm not gonna let you not give us the point if it's Vasquez with a Z instead of Vasquez with an S. 'Cause
Exactly.
that'd be garbage. Neither of these guys are in the book.
Yeah, because he's from Ohio, and the other one is her former lover or partner.
It's gotta be this Vasquez guy.
Because she said we could go to the police or the town hall to find that information, right? So we got...
Yeah, we're going to Ohio.
Woo!
That's the plan.
No, for anyone traveling, we should go to Australia. That sounds like way more fun.
No, but like we can go to the train station. We can't go to an airport 'cause, like, you know, public air travel is probably not a thing. And if we get on a ship, it's going to take way more time than what we've got allotted here.
You can take a bus line to like New York or to Boston or whatever, though. They probably have a plane place there.
All we need to do is,
A plane
we're in
bus
Arkham,
station.
we take a boat ticket, we go down to Buenos Aires, grab a boat ticket, go to Sydney. 2 turns, and we're there.
Yeah, Bryn.
It'll literally be the evening of the first day and we get there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it then.
I have no idea where to go.
Get to Australia, now what?
Do we check out that fucker's
What is
house?
this? I mean, like, that's our other real lead here. Like,
I don't. In all fairness, I do not know how we found him as a lead, right?
I don't either. We talked to the guy, and he was like, "Wait, you mean that guy?" We're like,
And like
yeah.
that's what happens when you missed like a piece, and we just like got to like, oh, we should talk to this fucker.
Which I think is poor design a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I guess we're supposed to go to, like, the police or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, where did they say the snake bodies had been taken to?
That's the place that was closed.
And they'll all
Place
be
those
all like,
clothes,
this
okay,
William
well.
Carthy guy reported his book was stolen or some garbage.
Yeah.
But pretty Griffier.
Do we just try the police station? Just try to get like our footing?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I've ever seen someone this excited about Ohio in my life.
Honestly, I think I've ever seen someone excited about Ohio in general.
Yeah.
Mickey Tull takes you back to Inspector Garrison's office, just gesticulating passionately as he talks. I hate snakes myself, he says, but that doesn't warrant killing them like that. It's just some kind of weirdo, I bet. Garrison stands up behind his desk, and Tull takes a place just inside the door. You inform Garrison why you're there, and he nods. Yeah, I figured Professor Armitage would jump on this. Killing 100 snakes is such an unusual crime. In fact, this might be something more of Armitage's alley than ours. And as it happens, this case has taken a turn I wager the old doctor himself didn't anticipate. The inspector grabs a thin manila folder from the corner of his crowded desk and plucks a single sheet. What do you make of this? Sketched it from the witnesses at Arts. This is Alan Drummond. I mean, why was he acting like this? We had one witness say that Drummond looked like he had a snake head to him with the fangs in his mouth. This is what the sketch looks like, just so everybody knows. Use this clicker right here.
What's his first name?
Alan, with an E. A-L-L-E-N. Drummond, drum,
Oh,
Mond.
Alan.
Drummond? That's a Digimon, I'm pretty sure.
With a
Maybe.
D. Drummond with a D.
Yep.
He takes the sketch back. He was an electrician who had contracted with Norwills to keep the lights on, especially the heat lamps in the reptile house. He often frequented Art's billiards after work, and yesterday walked in like he was possessed, acting very strange, although his strength was frighteningly real. The police were called, but the man wouldn't back down, instead choosing to overturn tables and threaten the guests. So often, Officer Blanchard was forced to shoot the fellow. We've conducted a cursory search of Drummond's house and found nothing out of the ordinary. For some reason, the staff and clientele at Arts are reluctant to speak with the police, so we've made little progress there. Oh, and if you want to see it, Garrison says as you're leaving, the corpse itself is with Dr. Sutton at the hospital.
What was the number on this one?
D32.
Sutton?
Dr. Sutton, yeah. I think I have him over here. Yeah, I got him over here.
Well, we didn't get poisoned.
That's good. That's good.
We didn't really find much.
I mean, like, it might be bad because if we're
That's
supposed to be
bad.
getting poisoned, we're on the right track.
But I mean, like, we've been poisoned 3 times, so then we've been on the right track 3 times.
But not this time.
Not this time, because this
Not
is where
this
this is
time.
one of the ones that we should have gone to first. It was one of the ones that Armitage said, right? We were just like, fuck Garrison, he's a fucking asshole!
Pascal guy, he's been pretty good in the past.
Yeah.
Armitage
He tells it like it is. He's like,
Yes.
it's Yig! I know you guys know it's Yig. I'll tell you a bit about Yig.
We're like, yeah, thanks, man.
So we can go to Arts, because they didn't want to
Maybe
talk to the cops.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say, or was it a...
Oh, I was just, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's just flavor garbage. We could go to Arts, we could go to, I don't think going to hospital is particularly
No.
beneficial. We'll go there and he'll be all, oh, he looks like Sneck or whatever.
Yeah. His teeth are fine. They reported that his teeth were fucked, but...
Yeah, but they're not anymore.
I'm down with going to Arts.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what that is?
No, not off the top of my head. If you give me a minute, I'll find out though.
Ohio was the 5th largest city in the U.S. in the 1920s. The Cleveland Orchestra. Cleveland is in Ohio, is it? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
D15.
D15?
I mean, like, I'd imagine if it's one of the finest in the world, it would be one of the fine. It would be like, you know, one of the finest in the United States. I didn't think they had that many good ones. I could be wrong.
Burning Rivers?
No, orchestras.
Oh.
Art's Billiards is usually a busy, bustling place. During the day, professional billiard players hunch over the tables preparing for tournaments. The afterwork crowd is rowdier. However, today Art's is only at half capacity and the uneasiness in the place is palpable. Art is a squat, hairy man who perpetually sucks on a stinky cigar. When he comes out to meet you, he brings with him a tall, lanky man in overalls and a newsboy's cap, as well as a female waitress. Art introduces the two who are accompanying him. A hustler who calls himself Bishba, and one of the billiard hall employees, Lisa. B-I-S.
Yes, Lisa and
B-I-S. B-A-H. Bispa.
Bispa.
Both of them were here when Drummond showed up, Art says. Lisa's the only worker who didn't quit, and Bisba is my only regular who's come in since. What a jerk, that Drummond. Could have run me out of business. You sit all three down, and they give you an outline of the events. Art was in the back room, and Lisa was in the front serving food and drinks, and Bisba was liberating money from a few Harvard kids. Drummond came in the front door, slamming it open. Lisa and Bisba both immediately recognized him, not
Reorganized him.
Stop it! Put those teeth away!
This is nonsense. What's
Looked like a snake.
Yeah, they both immediately recognized him, and not just because of his jumpsuit and the label on it. Alan Drummond was a good friend of Bisba. There was something about him, Lisa says, which made me feel uneasy, like it wasn't Alan at all, but it looked just like him. While patrons and staff fled, Lisa fetched Art, and Bisba stepped forward to confront his friend. Alan flung him aside as if he didn't recognize Bisba. That's strength, Bisba tells you. It was like nothing else. Turned the place a clam bake. He threw chairs and smashed tables. I'm lucky I got off with just a couple bruises. We're all lucky I was the one who took the biggest hit, except, of course, for that Carthy kid. Carthy, that's the guy? Cool. Who is Carthy and what happened to him? He was hell-bent on Will Carthy, no doubt, Lisa interrupts. He came in, tossed Bisba, and then went right for Will. You asked them if they told Inspector Garrison about how Drummond focused on Carthy, and they all shake their heads. No, Art explains. I don't think we've had a chance. It just didn't jive. We were dazed for so long after the incident, I still don't know what to think. He also bit Will on the shoulder. I swear I saw that, and he lifted a pool table over his head. We all saw that. I still can't believe it. They finished by telling you how Alan Drummond came to be standing over Will Carthy with a very heavy pool table held above his head. A table which, had it come down on Carthy, would have probably killed him. Fortunately, though, at that moment, Officer James Jimmy Blanchard entered, pistol in hand. He called out, and when Drummond turned to face him, still holding the table aloft, Blanchard took his shot, pulling bullets into his chest and head. You thanked the three of them for their help, and whispered to Art, I sure could use a drink, however illegal it might be. Suddenly, however, your stomach roils. You're not feeling well. We have another poison.
What about that drink, though?
I think we just, once again.
I mean, we're off to this Carthy guy, right?
Yeah, but let's kind of talk about what we think is happening. Let's kind of just with the knowledge we know. So this Drummond guy worked with the snakes, right? He did their heat lamps and shit like that, right? This Carthy guy is a member of the Silver Twilight Lodge.
So he has access to Necronomicon.
Is it potentially possible that Yig's creatures knew of this and were trying to like get revenge or something like that?
Revenge for what?
For whatever McCarthy was trying to do. Or Carthy, not McCarthy. Right, because why would he go after Carthy? And if Carthy couldn't hold a pool table over his head, I don't think he's Snake Person.
I don't think he's Snake Person either. I think maybe they could have been trying to intimidate them to get in the Necronomicon for their ritual.
That also could be it. That's one hell of a way to intimidate somebody.
Yeah.
Are we going to press on for the poison? That's what now, number 4?
Yep.
That would be number 4.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's D15, by the way.
Thank you.
Was there anything Carthy
I haven't been noting them down until after you start reading from the thing because
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
just in case there's nothing
sometimes
there.
they don't count.
Yeah, no, that's smart.
And that way I don't have to fix that.
Yeah. Because to me personally, I feel like us getting questions right matters more than the stupid poison thing.
It does. I think so. You can't lose points you don't got.
Exactly. Boom. Put it on a
Can't you,
t-shirt.
I mean, like in that Stone Age game, you can't. Yeah,
Yeah, it's true, yeah. Can't go below 0.
There are a lot of games where you can't go below 0. I'm not sure not knowing things about Ohio makes me an uncultured savage.
I don't know anything about Ohio.
Yeah, like
No. Did you know Ohio is spelled the same way both forwards
What do you
and
know about
backwards?
Alberta, this spam?
Yeah, tell me 3 facts about Alberta. I'll give
Like
you
3 facts is pretty soft. Like I could tell you 3 facts about Ohio.
Are they the ones he said?
No, but they're pretty relevant. Like it's in the U.S. It's a state. They have several cities. Those are facts about Ohio.
That's fair. 3
They're
detailed
useless,
facts.
but
3 detailed facts about Alberta.
Ohio has 4 letters in its name.
That's detailed enough. It's not really a fact though. It's more of a declaration and a statement and a truth that he.
They're facts.
So should we check out McCarthy's house?
I think so.
we want to check out this bullet-riddled snake man.
I don't think we'll find
He's just
him.
gonna be full of bullets.
Yeah, but maybe.
Like there might be something on his body.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, like, what are the police gonna let us take?
Yeah.
I think I feel a bit better about pursuing this one until we
Hit a dead end.
hit it down and maybe go check out the dead body.
I'm down with that.
Alright.
That is my opinion. And
All right.
I don't feel.
What's his house number?
N75.
N75. Will Carthy lives in a relatively isolated white frame house toward the end of Bennett's Lane. All the houses out this way are darkened and quiet, and Carthy's house, along with those of his neighbors, overlooks the dark, lush silence of Northside Park. Gringo Graham, how's it going? You can hear the lapping of waves from the Miskatonic River, which runs its course at the far end of the lane. You knock on Carthy's front door and hear the sound of someone shuffling around inside. Who is it? A male voice calls. At first you think he'll hide or just tell you to go away, but then the locks and chains on the doors rattle and it swings open. Rattle, like a rattlesnake. There's no accidents here, folks. A young, well-dressed, handsome man greets you with a hesitant smile. In the room behind you, you see a sparse but comfortable sitting room lit by candles. You notice that all the curtains in the house are drawn. He does not invite you in. Instead, he makes a little bow and says, "Please give my regards to Mr. Art and tell him I'll be back to have dinner and a game sometime later in the week. You understand I'm reluctant to revisit a place where I'm very likely I could have been killed. Also, if you see him, tell Officer Blanchard I said thank you. He saved my life." When questioned, Zach3765, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the goddamn table. I just played this for the first time last weekend. How did it go? Gringo Graham, did you enjoy it? This game I got for like 45 bucks Canadian, I think. It was like 45 bucks on Board Game Bliss.
It's a pretty good deal, actually.
Yeah. Especially if you have 2 different groups play through it. When questioned regarding his relationship to Alan Drummond, Carthy pauses thoughtfully and stares off in the distance. "I didn't know him," he says. "I have no idea why he was attacking to me, unless it was about Amelia Pickard." So, Emilai? Pickard. Pick and then ARD. You press Carthy and he indicates that he'd seen Alan Drummond at a distance flirting heavily with a debutante named Amelia Pickard who worked part-time at Arts. "There was only the one time that I saw him, but once was enough. And then a week or so ago I escorted Miss Pickard back to her home, which is not far from here. It was late and my intentions were honorable. Nothing transpired between us, and her father, Mr. Pickard, thanked me for the courtesy. I didn't see Mr. Drummond at Arts that night, but perhaps he caught wind of my deed. Finally, you bid him goodbye, and he looks so relieved. He shakes your hand and steps back into his house and waves farewell. When he does this, a silver medallion slips out of his vest, dangling on his chest for a moment. He frowns, shoves it back under his garments, and shuts the door. Then, as you're heading back down Bennett's Lane toward Arkham proper, you catch a whiff of an odd scent, one that smells distinctly like some sort of unripened nut or rancid bean. The scent is located on your fingers from the same hand that shook hands with Will McCarthy. Take requirement card 4.
He's poisoning us.
You see a man outside Carthy's home watching it. When you see you leave, he takes off running, but it's too late. A small totem or fetish is on the ground. It is a warning, and you begin to feel nauseous, poisoned. Do we delay and rest, or do we just say, fuck it, we're invincible, we're young? I'm 28, you're like 25 or 6, you're what, 22 or 23?
I mean, that's kind of young, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're still young enough to think you're invincible, though. Judgy and I, we're old men.
Well, I know
Getting
I'm not
creaky in the
invincible.
joints and stiff and slow in the cold.
I recognize the name Pickard, but I don't know from where. I really don't want to read the
No,
this
that's
garbage.
Picard. Different name.
Yeah,
Right.
you can really miss something. And I mean, like when I played the first time, I went through onto Board Game Geek and read through some of the errata, the spoiler-free errata. Because there's unfortunately a large number of mistakes in the game. So requirement card 4 was with Sebastian Lyman, right? Oh, do we worry about the poison or do we just keep going? Because my vote is always just ignore the poison. I feel like wasting time to rest at this point. Like, we can't die. They're not going to be like, stop playing the game, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what if we do, though?
What if we do die? Well, then.
Well, what's the point of having 7 things
Yeah,
if
I
you can
mean,
die
like-
on like the 5th one? That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That just breaks up the thing. You have to
Yeah, but
start
then if,
over and get
but-
back into it, and it's.
Then if the others don't die, they win all the other ones by default.
It would be pretty cool actually if he was all, oh yeah, you got incapacitated from the poison, you have to miss the next one, but like we found the antidote in it, so you
Yeah.
get to do the last one
Yeah.
for like a total score sort of.
I mean,
deal.
like, I feel like worst case scenario, it would be that we spend like the first time or second time resting. Right?
Yeah, we've already got one free time
Yeah.
for this one, so
Let's press on.
yeah.
I'm not scared of no poison. You scared of poison?
I guess not.
Dude, I don't feel so good.
Apparently we aren't. We should go visit Sebastian again because we have a thing.
Yeah, it'll just cost time, but not a location, so let's do it. We're gonna get poisoned in the supplemental
Again.
encounter, just so everyone knows.
Good.
All right. Good.
L4.
We've already decided we can't die.
L8.
Or you're just like, you guys should take it slow. You're starting to look at it. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. We talked it over.
We decide that we can't die.
Pretty sure we cannot die.
Oh, okay.
The moment you describe Carthy's medallion to Sebastian Lyman, he laughs, a full, throaty, hearty laugh that makes the tips of his waxed mustache bounce. Then he reaches inside his shirt and pulls out a silver medallion. It looks like a replica of the one Carthy wore. We all have one, Lyman says. We don't always wear them, and they don't always work, but once you've dedicated yourself to the lodge and proven your worth, you're told to wear this at all times. So this guy's a lodge member. So these guys are targeting lodge members. So the lodge guys aren't the problem here.
I mean, like, they're a problem.
No, yeah, but they're not a yig problem.
But they're not the problem.
We could go to the pet store now.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well give us the maximum amount of time there.
Yeah, do it. Pet shop. Which one's that one again? M19 or something like that?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
19.
it's M19.
Oh, you don't need to right now. We've already been there. Dr. Luttrell's retired from the university. Now he and his wife operate a small pet store. As you open the front door of the pet shop, the dogs inside bark too loud. You catch the coppery smell of blood and the policeman grabs you from behind. Mickey Tull has his hand on his pistol. Don't go in there, he yells, in a whisper, I guess. But you've already stepped inside.
In a whisper.
Lying on the floor are the corpses of several mid-sized dogs, and seated in a chair behind a desk is an elderly woman. In the back of the room, Dr. Luttrell is still holding a dog in each of his oversized hands. The hands themselves are covered in blood with black, decayed fingernails. Both dogs are injured and yelping in the hands of their deceased master. What the fuck happened here? An hour later, you're sitting on the porch steps with Mickey Tull. Tull's uniform is speckled in blood and his countenance is grim. I have a feeling these things will continue until we find out who killed those snakes. It's all related somehow. I don't know how or why. We found this on Luttrell's body, another officer interrupts, holding up an object that looks like a billy club. Told you guys, a whacking stick. Except it's carved with the intricate motifs and painted with ornate designs.
Does it have an address on it?
We'll find out. Several cured snakeskins are tacked to it, as well as a fan of feathers of various brilliant colors. Tull says, I'm heading... Oh, fuck. Bad news, guys. Tull says I'm heading to talk to Garrison in just a few minutes. Also, if Armitage doesn't know what that thing is, perhaps Pascal will. Charged with a new sense of urgency, you leave the police to their crime scene and continue your investigation. Take requirement card 2, but it does not matter. If you have pressed forward through 3 or more delays, then you find yourself too sick to continue the investigation. It immediately ends.
Oh,
God damn
okay.
it.
We go to questions.
Well, turns out we can die.
Bullshit.
Okay. We're just gonna do our best with the questions.
I mean, like
Okay.
we would have hit the end of the time allotted if we'd rested.
It's true.
Right,
Yeah,
like-
it's true. It was the same time.
So it was the same amount. Like we had the same amount of time either way,
Yeah. We would have had 2 rests. We would have had 2 more actions.
unless
let's
like we
do it.
didn't go to the pet shop.
Question down.
All right. What is the name of the man who attacked the patrons at Arts Billiards? That was
Oh,
Alan
fuck nuts,
Drummond.
McGee.
Yeah, Alan Drummond.
Just put down Fuck Nuts McGee.
Well, that's what it says in here.
So
Wow.
that's what was written on the police report.
Okay.
What is the name of the snake's killer? Okay.
It's gotta be this Vasquez guy.
Vasquez. Yeah, Vasquez. I think it might be Vasquez.
I'm just gonna write down his last name. We have
Yeah.
it written down here, so.
Just like start cutting up the note paper and like gluing new.
Who manufactured the poison to kill the snakes? So, it's either Vasquez again, or it's that chick, the debutante.
Or it's this guy from Ohio.
It could
Their
be the-
river is burned.
It could be fucking Armitage.
Yeah, I don't think Patrick would kill snakes.
It's the same guy.
Yeah?
Maybe the Vasquez guy made the poison someone else.
I feel like... Yeah, I say just put him down. Let's hedge our bets. I mean, I feel like it might be the Amelia one though, just because she was further down the line, right? But why would she do it, right? But she was talking with him, and that was the reason.
Amelia Picard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the other way too, because like Amelia's actually here in Arkham. She has a home.
Yeah.
Vasquez doesn't. Maybe she got the poison from him, and she's the one doing the poison.
What if we just switch him around? I mean, we
Yeah.
know nothing, right? Like it's literally. To what sinister purpose were the snakes killed?
To make a dragon.
So, but
Fuck
like,
yeah.
would Yig want his snakes killed, right? Or was it to keep Yig at bay?
It says
That's
sinister purpose.
Not a sinister purpose.
Yeah.
is
No,
it?
that's good times.
Yeah.
It's gotta be to like. It's gotta be like some initiation for Yig or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I still think it was to make a dragon. Serpent that doesn't consume serpents can't become a dragon.
I mean, like I'm on board with that too. Making dragons pretty cool.
What is the purpose of the fetishes you might have found around Arkham?
The
Signs
one?
of Yig? Like, the warning signs for people getting too close, because that's the only one we saw, and it was that we found it as to be a warning sign. Then people said we're invincible, and then collapsed in the street.
I'm invincible.
And Armitage was like, I have questions for you.
Maybe I should
God
have.
damn it.
Maybe I should have given you the antidote. Fuck you,
Like
old
warning
man.
signs?
Yeah, I think so. Or just like, yeah, like,
Warnings.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Fuck. You're so.
Oh, what are the names of the 2 people Miss Nordwell named as possible suspects? Vasquez and that mayor from Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Vasquez doesn't have anything to do it with it.
And mayor from Ohio.
Cranston.
Do we maybe want to then make that Drummond killed the snakes and Amelia made the poison?
Yeah.
And no more switch.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch because the arrow means.
But no, there's no more switch. We wanted so that Drummond killed the snakes.
Which
Yeah,
question
that's-
was first?
The Drummond one is first.
Okay.
You want question 7? What kind of poison killed the snakes?
It's
A
not.
nutty one.
It's not snake poison. Almond poison?
I mean, like almond is what? Almond is arsenic, right?
Cyan, yeah, or is it cyanide? I think it's cyanide.
Yeah,
It's cyanide.
Yeah.
Taking in metagame knowledge.
To which organization does Will Carthy likely belong? Silver Twilight Lodge. Name as many of the 4 ingredients used in manufacturing the poison as you can. Okay, so almond.
Okay.
Is it almonds though? Like, or does it? I think it just smells like almonds, right?
Yeah, but that's all we know. Okay, what are other things? Maybe we'll just put cyanide again.
Cyanide times 4.
What if they need snake venom for
Snake
it?
venom.
That's
Snake venom.
why they killed the snakes.
Yeah, snake venom. We're just gonna go everywhere. Maybe that's why it's poisoning us. And then put like
shit. Fuck.
Fucking like those little wooden fetishes are probably part of it.
yeah, just put tree bark
Yeah.
or soil. Tree bark or soil.
What if it's like lantern or whatever from the previous one? Oh, tree bark it is.
I think soil would probably be better.
Okay,
man.
soil.
These are good.
Who cares?
What eventually happened to Officer Jimmy Blanchard? Fucking died.
Yeah,
Went
he
crazy.
died.
Was poisoned. Yeah. He's probably fine though. He just went to bed and had a nap.
Yeah. Like
Like we're gonna.
ate lunch.
How is Pascal's fetish different from the others? It's older.
Did the other one say it had snake skin on it? I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe that's
yeah.
a difference.
Yeah, say Pascal's had snakeskin on it, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if the other one said that.
Maybe that's why he's immune to the poison.
Yeah.
And Armitage, and they didn't fucking share it with us. It was that easy to eat fucking snakes. Kid, there's a bunch of dead snakes. You could have just been like, no problem. I just
Yeah,
need
the
like to
band
itch that
poison.
snake. Like,
What are the 4 ingredients of the band poison?
yeah.
I don't know.
According to Arlo,
Guitar, drums, vocals,
Yeah,
and
like-
bass.
you guys ready for this one? This is probably only worth 1 point. According to Arlo, the cab driver, what is the name of the latest dance craze? It has to be a pun. It has to be some sort of snake pun. Probably not. The twist, the pop,
Yeah, all right.
the shuffle.
No, that's
Probably the twist.
I think the twist is good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
This is the 30s.
When did the twist come out?
I don't know. Probably not then. That was
The
like
Hustle,
a 60s
maybe?
thing, wasn't
The
it?
Hustle? Could be the hustle, yeah.
That one's real old.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
do
think,
the
I
hustle.
think that
Whatever,
house might be
whatever.
like the 50s or something though.
Yeah, maybe. I'd say hustle. It's hustle. I'd put either hustle or twist. I don't know anything about dancing.
Snake dance.
Can we ask? Can we pull chat?
I think I would do hustle
You guys are
over
old. The hustle.
twist.
Good. Okay, let's.
We're gonna go to the bottom one first.
Okay.
Here, you mark it in. We score ourselves in red for points. So I'm gonna start with the latest dance craze.
Yeah.
It's called the snake.
Are you
No,
fucking
that's fucking
kidding me?
horse shit.
I knew it was gonna be so.
0.
All right. What is the name of the man who attacked the patrons?
There you go. Those are the ingredients to the poison.
Yeah.
Fucking snake.
That's horse shit.
So what is the name of the man who attacked the patron at Arts Billiards? Alan Drummond, so 3 points. What is the name of the snake's killer? Will Carthy, so we get 0 points for that one. Who manufactured the poison to kill the snakes? Mike Damon.
I don't even know who that is.
Me either.
To what purpose were the snakes killed? To provoke to provoke Yig's wrath and or to awaken him.
Sick. We're gonna get like -2.
Shut up.
What is the purpose of the fetishes? To bring attention or destruction upon the bearer?
That's a warning. Attention.
I'd give
on
us
the
1
bearer.
out of 3 for that one.
There's 2
I feel that's generous.
Yeah, I think
Extreme.
1 is.
I think 1 is generous.
Fine. 1.
What are the names of the 2 people in this Nordal named as possible suspects? Stan Cranston and Guillermo Vasquez.
Yeah, we
2
got
points
those.
each, so 4 points.
Sick.
I mean, like, she identified them both. Why would it be like each?
What kind of poison killed the snakes? Cyanide.
Boom.
Fucking nailed it. That's what I got
That's
written
2
down.
points. To which organization does Will Carthy likely belong? The Silver Twilight, so
Oh
1
man.
point.
This is fucking terrible, Patrick.
Is it?
Okay, so
Yeah, we decided
list
we
them
were
off of my
invincible,
wild
and then we
compare
passed
what
out
we
in the middle
got
of
for
the
the
street.
ingredients, okay?
Alright, so, can you list again the ingredients that we have?
We
Lots
have
of people who
almonds,
sleep outside succumb to
cyanide, venom, and soil.
We were so close with, instead of almonds, it's apricot, because that's the pit of an apricot has cyanide in it.
All right.
So it's
Silly.
Prussian blue, apricots, ammonia, and phosphoric acid.
Yeah, fuck
All right,
that.
well, that was not even close. That also was not Brett Michaels, Ricky Rocket, Bobby Dahl, and CC DeVille, so I feel like we were never getting there.
What eventually happened to Officer Jimmy Blanchard? He shot himself. 2 points. We'll give ourselves 1 point for died.
He died.
Even
I mean,
though-
that was a pretty generic answer.
Hi, Chad.
How is Pascal's fetish different from the others? It is for protection, whereas others may invoke Yig's
Okay, whatever.
wrath.
That was we were wrong then.
Add up.
Fuck.
What the fuck? Okay. You guys ready for this? If you were forced to stop your investigation because you were too ill, deduct 3 points from your score.
Yeah, that checks out.
If you visited Mike's warehouse where you saw his head explode,
Shit.
deduct 1 point from your sanity.
All right.
Also, you guys didn't see someone's head
No,
explode?
No.
Oh,
no,
that's
we
nice.
didn't see that.
If you were not forced to stop your investigation due to the illness and you never chose...
When you
Okay,
get to
that's
see the
never-
cool stuff.
Is it like that scene in Prometheus where they hook up the severed head to the machine and it's like,
No, he just
it
shot himself.
explodes.
Count the number of locations you visited.
The downside about this
I mean,
game
we're
is
on
like there's
7.
cool stuff like that, but there's no way we had time to get there and
Yeah.
do it.
Deduct 1 point for every location you visited beyond 8.
Yeah, okay. We
So-
had 7.
We have 9 points.
Yeah.
Read supplementary entry 5 of this investigation.
Supplementary 5?
This has never happened before. Armitage's is not his home at the scheduled time, but on his door is a note. I had to step out to attend a sick relative, but I want to tell you something that I'm unable to tell you face to face. If anything ever happens to me, please always know you are... This is for the lost one, right? Fewer than 15 points, that's us. If anything ever happens to me, please always know you are and have always been my closest friend and ally. Never forget where we started it all, and I hope that before I leave this world we have one last chance, with both eyes open, to conclude our adventures in the very same place. Your friend always, Armitage.
Sad.
We're his best friend, but he didn't give us the antidote to the poison.
Yeah, what a jerk. I am immune.
He's like, yeah,
You guys
we're-
aren't though. Like, fuck.
So yeah, we're both gonna go on this investigation separately. Like, thanks.
Why do you guys think you were invincible to the point of sleeping outside in the
What?
gutter?
Oh, we didn't sleep outside in the gutter. We just like every time the game was like, "You've been poisoned and you should rest because might be bad." We were like, "No, it can't kill us."
And then we literally collapsed in the street, and they came and asked us questions about our investigation.
We find these streets. So what'd you figure
I do,
out?
I do
Thank
feel
you so
like
much, Daptaru. It feels pretty exciting to
Yeah.
have the sub button.
the further we get,
You learn
through
that
these,
modern medicine is good.
the harder we've been punting them. It's just like, yeah, sure, we can never die.
I mean, they are getting harder, right?
They are.
So, and we got a perfect score pretty much on that one of them, so we're holding on to that victory.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I mean, like we're up 2.
Yep.
Inspector Garrison has arrested Will Carthy for the killing of Miss Nordwill's snakes, Armitage says when you meet him in his office to compare notes on his latest investigation. And we're just like, it's just fucking gibberish because we're poisoned. It's just...
We're on like your hands and our arms.
About Armitage, we got everything. No doubt that with Ace and his friends in the Order of the Silver Twilight, he'll be back on the streets within a year. You notice that
Oh,
Armitage
man.
has a protective fetish like Pascal's now. It rests on one of his shelves in front of a row of leather-bound books. You're not going to touch that thing. It still might have poison on it. No, that's what saved him.
I mean, like,
Man.
Disbandment, you were probably more closer than us because at least yours all had a cohesive theme to them. It did add up to, like, one whole. We just wrote down whatever 4 shit things we could think of.
The best we can hope for, he says, is that we put a scare into Carthy. We've let him and his colleagues at the Order of the Silver Twilight know that we're on to them. We can't prove, of course, that Carthy was deliberately attempting to provoke the snake god Yig's wrath, but we certainly suspect it. And they know we suspect it. But we still don't know exactly why they were trying to turn Yig's eyes to Arkham, but they were, and knowing that gives us some advantage. Of course, all the knowledge in the world won't bring back poor Alan Drummond, who we thought was bad, but was merely just a pawn that they used. And in his rampage at Art's Billiards, as well as his consequently being shot dead by poor Officer Jimmy Blanchard, will no doubt make front page news. In fact, I'm sure Donnie Clark will come up with a clever headline or two about humans turning into snakes. Did he? Or that one hasn't happened yet. Although I doubt that Clark will be able to discover what we know, that the fetishes that were being planted on the victims. Something bothers me still that we still seem to be talking around. It would seem the poisons were causing everyone to act so strangely. Blanchard took his own life, but I saw some things that can't readily be explained unless there was a higher power involved. Ah, yes. Well, there are things we won't understand, and there may be others involved in this sinister plot, but they did not leave evidence behind. One day, however, we will be on their trail. As for the poison, well, my guess is that Mike Damon won't be manufacturing hydrogen cyanide for anyone. Garrison seized Damon's property and confiscated all the ingredients. He told me in confidence that they found other possible ingredients for other poisons, some mild and others of no composition that can be identified. Damon derived chemical formulations from forbidden books, I am sure. The downside to all this, Armitage says, shaking his head, is that Miss Nordwell has decided to pull up her stakes and move on and never return. But who can blame her? She suffered a loss that, though it pales in comparison to the loss of Drummond and the others suffered, is devastating. And wherever she goes, she's sure to be happier than safer than if she lingered here in Arkham. So he went to Dr. Winslow first, who had the chemicals that we should have gone to. Then he went to Art's Billiards, the police station, Alan Drummond's house, Pascal, Sebastian Lyman, William Carley's house, and then the Harding house. I still don't know how he solved all those things and learned about the fucking snake dance, but he did.
We got the cyanide one, though. That was pretty good. I was impressed with that.
Of note, so you'll see us next time in the Star of Tokelau, which is the next adventure in the Mythos book.
And poor Armin, she's like, what'd you guys do? And we're like, poor notebook. It's just written
Oh, fuck.
Vasquez in like big block letters.
We think it's the Mexican guy, Armitage. We think he did it.
I was just like, oh my god.
I thought when we were going to go read that note on his door, he was going to be like, it's best if you don't come around much anymore. Well, we have we have 4 left. Hopefully we get on a good streak. I feel like we didn't do...
Hopefully we don't completely punt one.
We got a negative score in the dream one, but I feel like that's just because we missed one piece. Like, the things that we did, we followed well.
Yeah. I mean, like, the one we did before this, we did pretty alright in.
Yeah.
No, I feel like for the dream ones in particular, we got punished really hard for just not picking the right place to start.
Not doing that safety deposit box yet. Like, we did
not
everything
picking
else.
the right starting lead. Like, it was... I don't think that's our fault.
The King Cometh one, we got ahead of ourselves.
That one was on us.
Yeah, and then this
We
one...
got a little overeager.
That, I think, I was too okay with the poison. But I mean, like... I don't know what else we were gonna find if we rested.
You're almost on point with your guess of 4 poisons being too much.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, like if we had rested the requisite number of times to not end the investigation there, the investigation would have been over anyway.
Yeah.
Again, the big thing was like we just didn't start.
Like we lost
the
the
right
points
place.
for it, sure. But if we could have spent a few more time units before we went to the pet store, right? Again. So we could have done a little more.
The place that Armitage started was at the...
Right. There.
Dr. Winslow in the Miskatonic Chemistry Department.
C12.
Okay.
That'll be on the next page if you're looking for the summary of where to go. It's kind of down here.
He didn't mention that at all.
He didn't?
No.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't say shit about that. He was like, oh, you should go talk to the policeman. But I'm going to go somewhere else. Where did you piece of shit?
Yeah. That's what, in the Sherlock Holmes ones, he does that a lot too. Where he's just like, I'm going to go here because I know everything. Mm-hmm. He's more condescending. Armitage still likes us, it seems. Unless that note was for somebody else and we just were like, this is for us now.
Okay.
Show up like, he's just like, damn it.
Next one, we're going to do good. I believe in us. It's water themed.
I mean, like that one wasn't terrible.
And I mean, like,
We
We
could
got
have
nine. The passing mark.
shat the bed harder.
The passing mark was fucking 15. We got 9.
Yeah.
We barely got half of the passing mark, the bare minimum to pass.
I mean, we lost 3 points for the poison, so
Okay, then we only got like what 4/5. We got 8% of the passing mark.
and
Yeah, that's good enough.
and I actually like that. The
40%.
thing I said is, what if that guy was being? Because I feel like he was snaked up and lifting the pool table because the snake's toll I gave him the power to because Yig was pissed at the Silver Twilight, right?
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
That
Who
fits
fucking
the thing,
knows?
but
Who fucking knows?
I'll sell next time for a passing grade. Like,
I just want to get. I don't want to get like. We knocked it out of the park with the vampire one, and ever since then I've felt overconfident, and now I'm back down to this level of.
I just want Armitage to show up and be like, I feel like I pay you for a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
And not just like, man, you guys are awful at this.
Yeah.
I don't think Armitage pays us.
Then why do we do this?
Is this
I don't
is this
know.
game Legacy where you guys have characters that carry over
No.
from play session?
No, there's a.
I mean, kinda.
There seems to be like
There's
if you do
some
too good or
stuff
too
like
bad.
at the beginning of every game, you get a new newspaper for that day, and there's like some stuff in the newspapers that carries over into the next investigation or is relevant to the next one.
And then also, if you do too good or too bad, it affects your time for the next one. And I feel like if we do too bad in some of the later ones, I feel like they're foreshadowing that Armitage is gonna fucking die. So we shouldn't cause him to die.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
But he employs us. He pays us in poison.
He probably doesn't.
He probably does.
Poison, yeah, okay, but like.
Well, here, you can keep the cyanide from the investigation. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.